Hey, what's up? Rounds here. For a long time there were no videos about tips and tricks on my channel, but today I decided to make a rather unusual video because today we will receive more than 50 tips from artificial intelligence, namely from ChatGPT. I think you all have already heard about it somewhere, and this is pretty smart artificial intelligence. Well, it is not surprising because he is able to give me more than 50 tips for Valorant. So right now I'll read what he came up with for us, and I will also rate if the advice is normal and can be really used or if it is useless and generally meaningless. At the end of the video we will calculate how many normal tips turned out and how many useless ones. Make sure to count with me and write in the comments how much you will get. I wish you a pleasant viewing and let's get started. Communication is key in Valorant. Use your microphone and in-game pings to coordinate with your team.
I know how to play this game. Shut up, monkey. Shut up. Shut your bitch ass up. Alright?
Get comfortable with the agent you're playing and their unique abilities. Try to learn the maps and their callouts. Knowing the map is crucial to securing objectives and making game-winning plays. Don't be afraid to take your time and play passively in the early rounds. This will give you an opportunity to gather information and spot enemies without putting yourself into too much danger. I would only remove in the early rounds, because passive play can go through both the first and the last rounds. Always keep an eye on the minimap. This will give you a good idea of where the enemy team is located, but it is also not worth distracting yourself with it too often. Experiment with different weapons and find the ones that suit your playstyle. Here you can rather talk about a Vandal and Phantom or about an Operator, whichever you prefer. When it comes to buying weapons, prioritize utility items like smokes and flashes over raw firepower. Here I disagree, because Vandal can sometimes win a round for you, but updraft is unlikely. I would apply this advice for the second armor. Always keep your crosshair at the head level, ready to shoot at a moment's notice. Aim for headshots whenever possible, they do more damage and can secure a kill more quickly than body shots. Try to predict enemy movement and anticipate their actions, this will give you an advantage in firefights. Stay in cover and try to avoid exposing yourself unnecessarily. Learn to use your agent's abilities in combination with your weapons for maximum impact. This is probably about a combination of Viper and Phantom, for example. Don't be afraid to use your abilities aggressively to put pressure on the enemy team. Use your ultimate ability wisely and try to coordinate it with your team for maximum effect. Always be aware of the economy and try to save up for better weapons and equipment. Try to keep track on how many enemies are still alive and their approximate location. Try to play to your strengths and focus on what you're good at. Don't be afraid to fall back and regroup if things aren't going well. This is cool advice. Many players don't know how to retreat and go attack another side, even if the entire defense team came to the first one. Make use of preferred technique to catch enemies off guard. Pay attention to sound cues and use them to your advantage. It probably says about the sounds of abilities in order to understand how many enemies are in one bomb site, for example. Try to take high ground whenever possible, it will give you a better view of the battlefield. Well, no, this is some kind of Fortnite advice. Practice your aim and reflexes in the game shooting range. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Always be aware of the timer and try to play to the pace of the game. Don't be afraid to play as a support role and help your team in ways that don't involve fragging. Well, this is generally a separate issue. Many people think that if you have less skills than them, then you're useless, but this is not so. Try to focus on objectives rather than just getting kills. Make use of utility to control the pace of the game and create opportunities for your team. Stay calm and don't get tilted. Keeping a clear head will help you to make better decisions. Pay attention to enemy reloads and take advantage of them to secure kills. Don't be afraid to take calculated risks if they have the potential to pay off. Try to work as a team and make use of crossfire opportunities. Always be aware of the state of the game and make decisions based on what's happening. Don't be afraid to take a break if you're feeling overwhelmed. This is probably the best advice ever. Practice your spray control with the weapons that have a lot of recoil. A lot of recoil? Does ChatGPT trying to tell me about Odin? I guess you need to roughly understand the spray on each weapon and not just on the one with strong recoil. Make use of wall penetrations to hit enemies hiding behind covers, so learn some wall bangs, at least the basic ones. Don't be afraid to ask for help or advice from more experienced player. Try to learn the timing of the round and use it to your advantage. Here I think AI tried to tell us about the timings, at what timing where the enemy can be and etc. Stay aware of the state of the spike and defend or attack it accordingly. Well, if there is very little time, then it is better to go save guns. Experiment with different mouse sensitivities and find the one that works best for you. Pay attention to the position of enemies' feet to determine their movements. Make use of alternate fire modes when appropriate. Try to avoid running in straight lines and instead move in a zigzag pattern to make yourself a harder target. Try to keep your weapon sights up at all times to be ready for a quick shot. Use the environment to your advantage and take advantage of objects that provide cover. Stay aware of your agent's ultimate and try to use it in a way that benefits your team the most. Try to play with a consistent crosshair style that works well for you. Don't be afraid to experiment with different mouse pads and grips to find what's comfortable for you. Stay aware of the state of the game and adjust your playstyle accordingly. I think something similar has already been said. Try to keep your mouse movements smoothly and avoid jerky movements. This is generally a useless tip, I guess. If you need to make some kind of flick shot, then what kind of smooth movements can be there? Try to focus on your gameplay and avoid distractions. Try to stay focused and play each round with a clear mind. Well, this is almost a copy of previous paragraph. Remember to have fun and enjoy the game. The more you enjoy playing, the better you will perform. So this is all tips from this AI. In fact, a lot of this is obvious, but we constantly forget about it. So in my opinion, artificial intelligence did quite well, and 46 out of 51 is pretty good indicator. Yes, of course, something was repeated, something was very obvious, but at least it was not something useless. Write in the comment if you like this video, also let me know your results. Well, that's all from me. Many thanks to everyone who watched to the end. See you soon. Bye bye.